guys, it's your makeup girl Mandy. I am here with a video today to explain to you the different types of Younique makeup brushes and what their purpose is. Before I talk individually about each brush, I do want to let you know there's two that I won't be covering today because I don't quite have them yet. They were released March 1st. They have a fan brush and a new concealer and powder brush. It's double-ended on one, and the fan brush is by itself. Before I get into each brush again, I just want to talk to you generally about the Younique brushes. We have a complete set that includes all of the brushes. You can also order them as the face set, and you can also order the eye set. And then you can order, of course, each brush individually on its own. So my general rule of thumb with the brushes, as far as just looking at them, the bigger the brush is, the bigger area that it is supposed to cover. So this brush here would be for my whole face, forehead, chin, nose area, okay? But however, this little small brush would be for a smaller area. I wouldn't use this whole brush to apply makeup to my entire face. It's just kind of common sense as far as I'm concerned with that. Also, I do want to mention that when you're using Younique brushes, each one is actually labeled with what it's supposed to be used for. So you can tell this is the lash comb or the brow brush. Each one is labeled with exactly what it is so that you don't forget what you might use it for. However, that being said, I also want to talk a little bit about the makeup police. And you might be looking at me like I'm crazy because there isn't any makeup police, okay? Nobody anywhere is going to say, oh my gosh, you applied your foundation with the blush brush, that is just not acceptable, we're gonna arrest you. That's just not gonna happen. So you can use whatever brushes that you want for whatever you want if it works for you. I know that my makeup application, personally, I don't always use the same brushes for the same things. I don't always use them for what they're intended for, and that's fine. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about is synthetic brushes versus real hair brushes. And synthetic brushes usually don't absorb any of the product that you're using. They are like a fake kind of plasticky feeling. They're typically used for liquid products. If you use a real hairbrush, such as this one, for any kind of liquid product, it's very likely going to shed. This brush will shed like crazy if you use it with liquid products. However, a lot of people use it for liquid products anyway. I use this brush as a brush to apply my spray tanning product from Younique also. It sheds everywhere, but it's the best thing that works for me, so that's what I continue to use. I just wait until the tanning solution dries and I brush off any little hairs that have come off of the brush. It's not a big deal. Also, a lot of people use this brush for the liquid foundation too, and that might get some hairs on your face, but you just brush them off and then you're good to go. It's not a big deal. There's no makeup police. There's no right or wrong way to apply makeup. There's just some general tips and tricks that can help you look best or better, something like that. Okay, moving on. We're going to go over each individual brush that Younique offers, except for the two that I haven't gotten yet, so it's kind of a bummer that I don't have them to share with you. One of the brushes that I really like is the brow brush, and you can see there is the brush on one side, and then there is actually metal teeth on this side, and they have bit me before quite a few times. I like to use this side just to brush through my eyebrows, make them look very nice, kind of get each little hair. There might be some that's not where you want them to be, they're kind of crazy looking. This helps you just put them back in place. The metal teeth is really important. Up until I started using Younique, I would use a plastic toothed comb for my eyelashes, and once I started using the fiber mascara, I realized that was not going to work. These fibers and everything in your eyelashes, you need to have a metal tooth comb. So I do have another one that is not Younique brand, so I just can't seem to find it right now. So they do exist outside of Younique, maybe not as expensive or whatever, but I prefer the Younique one, and it actually has a little cover that you can put over the teeth so that it doesn't bite you like I have been bitten many times. So that is one brush that we do have. the other brush here, we have the deluxe brush. It's one end and it has just one large side. It's very fluffy. It's just for eyeshadow application. So right on the eyelid would be the best place for you to apply any kind of eyeshadow with this brush. Very fluffy. The liner shader brush, you can tell I've used it so much the name has completely wiped away. The liner shader brush has two ends. So there's this end that is very thin. I use that to apply thin lines along the bottom or the top of my eye. And so you can get really fine lines with this. Use it kind of to make an eyeliner effect. On the other end, it's very simple. It's the same as the deluxe brush on the other end. So again, it's a nice fluffy eyeshadow brush just for your overall lid. I do like to use this end though. It's very helpful to have a nice skinny end. The crease brush is also a real hair brush, and this is used for the crease of your eye right here. So what you might do with that, you might get a little color on there and then you drag it around and kind of blend it in. This is very good for blending eye color in the crease of your eye. We also have this is a newer brush, it's not one of the newest, but we have the angled shadow and sponge brush. I don't really use the sponge side a whole lot, but I will tell you, it is a very sturdy sponge. I've had a lot of brushes similar to this back in the day. You know, they're kind of like the cheap brushes that come with any kind of eyeshadow you've ever had as a kid. But this is really sturdy. Like, it's really hard to even move or break. I haven't really used it a whole lot yet, but you can use it for eyeshadow, just the same as anything else. I've actually used the side of it kind of as like, you know, putting a line of eyeshadow on. This angled brush, you see it as an angle. It's not as square like the deluxe brush. Here we have the deluxe brush. Kind of has a more square look to it. I use this one a lot for blending right on my brow bone. I usually will use that, or I'll use it along my arch of my eyebrows. So I use that. Usually I use it a lot for blending out color. I don't really use it to apply color. I use it more for blending it out. This is what I use it for. So just telling you. This is also a newer brush. This is the Brow Artist brush. And on one side we have a little tiny itty bitty angled brush. And I use that with my brow palette that came out from Younique. I absolutely love it. It's new in March, yes. So I love that. And then it also has a flat side. I will use that to actually apply the color for the brows in there. I'll use this little tiny angled brush to kind of shape the brow underneath and up top. So it's a pretty cool brush. I love the dual-ended brushes. Okay, this is the cream shadow brush. This is just used to apply our splurge cream shadows across your eye. It is a very stiff brush, so it is very good for the cream shadows. Moving on to the face brushes, this is the foundation brush. It is also a stiff kind of brush. It's used more for, you know, probably like the BB cream and that kind of stuff. It's been around for a while, so you probably use it for that. The concealer brush also has a little stiff end. I use that to apply concealer, especially under my eye or on any blemishes. I'll dot those around, get it on there. The blusher brush is kind of at an angle, so that way you can sweep the brush along the apple of your chin, okay? And it is very fluffy. I do love this brush. This is the powder puff brush. This is a very versatile brush. I use it to apply my powder foundations. I also use it to apply my tanning products. Some people even use it to apply the Younique liquid foundation. Just make a few dots, swirl around, and then you're done. Okay? Very fluffy brush. But it will shed quite a bit if you use it with liquid products. We do have a liquid foundation brush, and it is a synthetic brush made specifically for our liquid foundation. It has a little divot. Some people prefer to put the liquid foundation in the divot. Some people prefer to dot the foundation around Some people prefer this brush for a liquid foundation, some people prefer this one. It really is what it is. Whichever one you choose. We also have this two-sided brush for contouring. One side is the paddle side. It is kind of stiff. You would use that to apply the highlight here. This side, of course, would be used to apply the cream contour right up along your cheeks. And that is about it. So if you have any questions about the Younique brushes that I have shown you today, feel free to comment below, ask me about them. Feel free to like my page. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, share this video. That way more people can benefit from it. Thanks. Have a great day.